Okay, so this is part 2 of my Weather Radio collection video. This is my school setup, and you'll notice a few things in common here because I moved a few things up here. Excuse me. So starting over here with the bookshelf setup, this little crappy shelf is still serving me. You'll notice it's pretty chaotic. On the top here in the back left, we have my Midland WR300 version 8.
3.4. North Branch,
I believe that's on channel 2.
2.1. North Branch, Potomac an hour. Gun, 3.1.
No, that's on channel 1.
Potomac.
Which is, up here, that's WXM 73. This is one of the other radios I got from a special somebody. And on FM, it's a very distant signal, but that's 99.5 DZN. And it's a WVRC media station, so it's guaranteed to relay. Next to that is my WR300 version 5, which is still working, and I've had this since the beginning of 2021. Currently receiving diddly freaking squat.
Potomac River near Linwood, 3.0.
It's on channel 7.
Potomac River.
There you go. It's on channel 2, so that way these two are different channels. And on FM, this is on 100.5, Magic 100.5. I forget the call sign of it. I keep forgetting it, but should know it. And that is also an HD station, though I do not have an HD radio to test it with to see if it does alerts. I know it doesn't have any sub-channels. In front of that is my ever annoying 74200 version 8. Step back from it because of the phone, I guess. I don't know if it's channel 1 or 2. I think it's channel 2, we'll see. Ooh la la. Yep, that's channel 2, WXM43. Next to that is my ever lovely 12519 from Radio Shack. This is a first header revision from 2009. This is a Christmas gift from my mother, new in box, surprisingly, and I don't wonder how much she paid for it. On Weather Band, this is on channel 2, WXM 43, and on FM, is that seriously on? Yeah, that's on 100.5 as well. I should move this. Yeah, I wonder if I can get DZN better on this.
Good times, a great country. 100.1 The Wolf is walking off soon, y'all. Out the door for the weekend. Talk to you next weekend. Have a great work week, everybody. Later. I never stay.
I'll put this on Spirit 101, which surprisingly is not a K-Love station or Air 1 or any of the EMF owned things. It's a locally run independent religious station. I don't know if they'll rely, but we'll see if they will. Here is the Vector radio, the only Vector radio that's up here still. This is the Vector WC300 DSV, the water closet radio. And this thing has been serving me pretty well, and this radio and its slightly different cousin, by slightly I mean not at all, the VEC-138, excuse me, the VEC-136, these get dunked on a lot by the community, but honestly, it's quirky, it's fun, just like you would want a girlfriend to be. It's big, just like you would want a girlfriend to be. But no, this is actually, it's a quirky radio, and it has its flaws, but it's a decent little thing. I mean, it's got weather band with same detection.
Except for Central Virginia, due to a combination of low humidity and drive.
And this thing still somehow got WXM 43, and at home this thing gets great reception.
Devour some of Ducky's award-winning wings at Ducky's Barn Grill in Piedmont. True friendship.
And on FM, this is on 94.1 WQZK. So, yeah. Love that. Here is my some reason it's on max volume, and I have not set this thing to anything other than Kanawha County yet, so I need to set this thing to all counties, or better yet, get out of tone mode, because it's stuck in freaking tone mode. My Radio Shack 12250, which unfortunately is not in a good spot right now. This thing gets basically nothing as a signal, but the problem is I don't have anywhere else I can shove this. So, but it's in a better spot than one of the two radios down here. This is a Midland WR120, which was amber backlight modified. I'd use Scotch tape to hold the faceplate on. This is on WXM43, I believe, and this thing is on such a bad power supply. That's what it sounds like when it's a lyric comes here. Yeah, it's not in good shape. It was modified for me by someone else, and I traded a actually decently uncommon radio for that. Here's my WR100 version 5. Knock on wood, still working. This is also on WXM43 because now it's on WXM73 because it can get that just as well. So it's one of the few version 5s that still seems to be working, knock on wood. It's in fairly decent shape. I actually got it new in box. It was in the clamshell packaging, so it was the WR100C. And so, yeah, that is it for the bookshelf setup. So now, if we come over here to my bedside setup, there's just a few radios over here. Like two. Switch off the fan. First up here is the 256 that I recently got. This is currently trying its darndest to pull in WXM73. And you basically can't get WXM43 in this spot of the room. Unfortunately, this room is very iffy. There's a half-rusty carabiner clip. Should be good enough to activate. Time. I'm going to try and see if we can replace the speaker on this at some point this week, because that is not how it should sound. Here's my phone charging stand. This is a WR120. Potentially, I've been told it has Blue Alert. We'll see. Which is getting an incredibly iffy signal on one of the stations. If I move the antenna here, which I've pledged to give this radio a good home because it had some strong sentimental value to the person. I believe that's WXM73. Yep, that's WXM73. And that's it for the radios I have over here, other than I have my dock for my HH. Oh no, I have two radios over here. I got my dock for my HH, and my HH basically cannot get a signal when it's in the dock, and the rubber buttons fell off of this thing, so this thing is just... I don't know if I'm going to retire this soon, or have this be my NWR monitor for the station, or what, but this HH has been beat to hell. And you can't get nothing over here if I show something and activate the button. Well, maybe you can. Maybe it'll be enough to activate, but it'll be with me for the tornado thing. Which, yeah, the tornado drill is Tuesday or Wednesday. And then here is one of my more uncommon radios, a Radio Shack 12382. This is currently getting I don't know what. Next to the power station. Be a few radios I'm going to set on the beds and just move them temporarily for the tornado drill, and that's going to be one of them. And now if we come over here to the window, this is where my cooler radio, like a couple cool radios and a couple iffy ones are set up. Switch this to heat. And yes, it's still very, very sunny out. This is my Midland ER102. This is not the Mossy Oak version, just regular ER102. This thing's okay.
Bit 50.
It's typically set to WXM43. This thing's a bitch to tune.
On the bottlenecks. Rather like looking at a car production.
120 that. And really started dreaming in that.
How solar energy can benefit your home. And answer your questions. For solar modules,
There we go.
Spotter activation is not expected at this time.
Set on WCBC FM. This is my Radio Shack 12991, which I did bring back up.
Source, including machinery, cigarettes, and matches.
And what is this on?
Outdoor burning is strongly discouraged during this time. Please refer to your local burn permitting authority on whether
This
you
is on
can burn.
WXM 40,
Easy to burn. Use
73.
extreme caution.
This is my Midland ER10 VP. I don't know if this is a version 1 or version 2. I guess we'll find out with the tornado drill. And it does not currently have batteries, and I'll chuck some rechargeables in it on Wednesday or Tuesday, whenever it is, I'll look it up. And it has no reason to exist. Over here's my Bearcat BC370 CRS, which is pulling duty as my FM monitor. So that is tuned to 100.1 The Wolf WVMD, which relays basically anything. And I come back from school sometimes and I hear country music playing, and I know WVMD has had the test. And here is the alert works, which I had to bring up for another first header radio to activate for the drill.
25 at Oakland
And what's
Fair.
surprising is, even though it's just at the desk, it's getting WXM 73.
At Dulles Airport.
Dull ass airport. It's dull as ass. And there's one other thing I'm going to try and do for the tornado drill. I'm going to have my video capture device here connected to, in my drawer here, in addition to my WR400, which needs some servicing because it no worky. It's version 1, that's why it deserves the servicing. I've got a Roku Express, which is connected to my family's DirecTV Stream account, and an HDCP stripping switcher. What I'm going to use this for is I'm going to tune into one of the Charleston media market stations, probably WCHS, and I'm going to see if DirecTV Stream relays anything through the EAS, and I'm going to have the HDCP stripping switcher so I can, excuse me, splitter, largely just, so I can decrypt the signal to pass it on to the capture device, otherwise it will just error out and not record. But this way I'll be able to record if the EAS goes over TV. And it'll be a full quality direct capture. So, yeah. That's what else happening. And, unfortunately, I'm going to be in math class when the drill occurs. It's occurring at 11 a.m. And my math class ends at 11:06. So I'll see if I can bring, like, my HH or maybe my ER10VP with me. But for the rest of the radios going off, I'm going to have my laptop set up in here. I'm going to have Audacity running. And it's going to start recording at 10:55 and end at, like, 11:15. I'm going to use the radios I want going off for AM, FM. I'm going to tune them to other weather channels that do not pick up anything around here. And I'm going to leave them already running on FM stations. I'm going to have the laptop fairly centrally located in here so that way I can pick up the sound from all of them. And so yeah, that's how that's going.